Yo, what's up? It's Buff Missionary out here. And the whole time I was doing that video about Terry Crews and that interview, and the thing that really stuck with me about doing every little thing as if you would get $1 million for doing it, I couldn't help but think in the back of my mind, there's a spiritual connection here. What is it? What is it? What is it? And as soon as I turned off the camera, I remembered, the story of Joseph. So we have a biblical example of this, right? And I think it's very powerful and inspiring. But just as we tend to do with most things in life, we skip out on the preparation part. We skip out on the part of the story that isn't pleasant. And we go to the high point and celebrate that. And when people think of Joseph, one of the first things they think about is how he was ruling over his brothers, big dog in Egypt. And they forget that the only reason that he was able to ascend to those heights was because he did every little thing, every menial task to the best of his ability. Whether it was as a slave slash servant in Potiphar's house, taking care of the affairs of the household so well that he got elevated as a slave to the second in command of the house. Whether it was as a prisoner and in the jail being elevated to second in command of the jail because of how good. Imagine that, being so good, so much of a model citizen as a prisoner that they end up taking you and making you second in command of everybody else that's there. That's crazy. But it's a testament that anyone in any situation, see, the tendency is that if we're in a situation that we don't like or think we shouldn't be in, we want to complain about the fact that we are there instead of looking for the opportunity in the fact that we are there. So we'll spend so much time complaining about why we shouldn't be there and how it's not fair, instead of saying, how can I make the most of this opportunity? And the people who do end up experiencing something tremendous, but the majority of people are not ones who express that. The majority are content to complain. And those few who say, you know what, there's an opportunity here. How can I make the most of this situation? They rise up and they make it through. You know, for better or for worse, there's a lot of people that fit that description, right? There are a lot of good people who made the most out of a bad situation and became great for positive reasons. And there's a lot of people who were in a rough situation and made the most out of it for negative reasons. It can happen both ways, but it only happens if people make the most of their experience. Obviously, you got some choices to make along the way in terms of the impact you want to have on this world. But all of us are going through things that are difficult. All of us are going through things that are challenging. And all of us have an opportunity to learn and to grow and to become better through them. When you look at nature, you have the spiritual, let's turn to the natural. You have things of high value like diamonds and gold. And these things are not just found at random in their purest forms. For them to get there, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of heat. There's a lot of compression. There's a breaking down of what is there to produce something better. And we want to skip that part. We want to go right ahead to the 24 karat, right? We want to go straight ahead to the Hope Diamond. But you can't skip the process. You have to work the steps of the process to get there. Bringing it full circle to what Terry Crews was saying, I love this point. He talked about how, especially in our culture today, people are looking for the big payday like right now. And so they don't want to put the work in to get to a position where they can make those moves or where those opportunities are open to them. They just want to be right there, right now. And it doesn't work that way. He said something to the effect of, you had to be willing to work for free. When you think of people who play football and people who play basketball. For years, they weren't getting paid to practice or wake up early to shoot baskets in the morning in high school, middle school. They weren't getting paid for that. They invested so much time in without any payback. And that's the part that we can't forget when it comes to any of our goals. We're going to be in those situations, and are you willing to work without the pay so you can reach the payday? We do it so many times in other areas of life, we don't even think about it. And then when it comes to the areas of life that might actually involve money, we want to skip it. Doesn't really make any sense, but humans are weird, so maybe in that sense it does. But a spiritual concept, a natural concept, and a very mental concept, something that we could definitely all embrace if we want to have a better experience throughout all the highs and lows of experiences that we can have as humans. So hopefully that provokes your thought a little bit. Something to think about. Until the next one, catch you. Peace.